Hello everyone, welcome to this video on Alteryx hands-on practice questions. In this video, we'll be passing an XML from the World Bank API link. Below the topics which will be covered, so we'll have input, output, we'll have preparation. From the developer tool, we'll use the download. From pass, we'll use XML pass, and from reporting, we'll be using the table. Our data is provided into this link. This is the format of data in an XML format. So if you notice here, we have the country IDs, their names, their regions, their income levels, the capital city, latitude, longitude, etc. A task would be to prepare this output where we'll have the regions, the income levels, and the name of the country. Additionally, we'll highlight all the countries in red which are falling under the low income regions. Okay, so let's get started. This is the API link where we can see the data. It starts from countries and there are I think 50 countries in it. You can read this XML Parse tool guide from Alteryx, which will give you more idea about how XML parsing works. Moving on to Alteryx, I just wanted to show you a few examples of how XML works. So first of all, XML will have, let's check this. So XML is kind of hierarchical data. It has a structure which contains tags or elements. Okay, so if you see everything is a tag, it starts with a tag and it ends with a tag. Similarly, as we have in HTML also. So these tags define the structure and the hierarchy of the data. These tags can additionally have attributes, again same as HTML. So if you see it has some ID or attribute here, ISO code attribute, which will provide additional information about that element or the tag. The Alteryx XML parsing has given us multiple options of input and output. The first option is to pass the root node and to return the child values. I've taken a sample the data for this. Okay, so in countries we are going to have an ID which is root. For country ID we'll have India, ISO code is IND, and then we are just closing all the tags. So in this scenario, to detect the root and the child values, it will detect everything which is in the root, okay, along with its values and the attributes. Along with that, it will display what is the child of that and its values. So we get countries which is null, the ID which is from countries is root, then we have the country here which is null, again ID which is India. We are not getting this ISO code because we asked it to return only the child values of the root node. So root node's immediate child or the first level child is this. Moving to next scenario, we are going to have a root, but here instead of child, we are going to return the outer XML. So here you see the difference. We'll get everything which we had in the root as previously along with the attributes of the root. And instead of having a child, we are having an outer XML. So in this outer XML, kind of it creates an XML, okay, with the root and its nested tags instead of just displaying the immediate child nodes, and it can be referenced again further in the code to pass down. In scenario 3, instead of root, we are giving it auto detect the child and then return the child values. So auto detect works in a way like it ignores the root, okay, and then it takes in the other, like it kind of automatically detects the other parent node, and according to Alteryx documentation the detection is based on how many times the highest number of times the node occurs. Okay, so here since it's going to ignore the root, we are not going to get the countries for the root. We're going to get the country which is null, ID is India, and along with this we are returning the child value of it. So we'll again have this ISO code which is IND. Okay, a last scenario is when we are auto detecting the child, but instead of child values, we're returning the outer XML. So we'll have the same first two which we had because we are going to display. Now it's auto detecting country as a root instead of countries as a root. Okay. So we'll have India in the ID, and instead of having this ISO core IND, we are going to have an outer XML, which will be a package which in XML language will consist of the root and its all nested tags. Now let's move on to our original workflow for this task. We'll be using a text input where we will be giving the URL, okay, the HTTP URL here. Next, we'll be using a download. In this download, we are going to configure the output to be a string. Rest every parameter will keep it as the default ones. So what this does is it takes the URL, it goes to that, and whatever data it finds there, it just takes that all data into a column called download data. It doesn't do any kind of external anything from on its own. It just copies the entire data which is in this website. Okay, if you see, it starts from this XML versions. By default, each XML which we are downloading will have this tag, okay, that XML versions and the encoding. So this is how it will look. Then it takes in our parameters, which is the countries and the rest of the data. This is how we get it. We'll be using first an XML parse to parse the downloaded data. Okay, so we'll take the download data column, we'll parse the root and return the outer XML. So what it's going to do for us is going to return all the values which is there in our root, okay, as we have seen in our scenario. So it is going to display countries, which is null, page is 1, pages is 6, per page is 50, total is 299, and then this XML NS is going to display as this website. And again, it creates an outer XML which will be consisting of the root node and all its nested values. So from this output, we are going to have an XML parse again, and instead of the download data, now we are going to give the country's outer XML which was created in the previous parse. And here we'll auto detect the element to be passed and return the child values. So if we do that, auto detect, it starts printing the values for country here, then its ID, ISO code, etc. So if you see the output here, this is where the country's XML ends. Then we have the country, the ID, ISO code, name, followed by region, admin region, and all. Okay, attributes are also there. The region ID is an attribute. So if you see, region is Latin America in this. Then we have the region ID and we have the ISO code. Okay, so like this it gets split. Now we get all the columns which we need. We'll use a select to just get the columns which we need for our output, which is the name, the region, and the income levels. Longitude, latitude is not required. You can uncheck that. Yeah, I'm just using a filter to just filter out the data, because according to the income levels, there are some income levels, there are some countries which are being aggregated. Okay, so I'm just passing them out. If you see the false, there are a few countries in the Africa, for instance, certain, then Arab world and all the Middle East are being clubbed together. So just ignoring them for now. Next, I'm using a basic table where I'm grouping this by region, and the columns which are going to be displayed is the region, income level, and the name. For the default table settings, I have just altered some of the background colors here. Apart from that, all the columns you can change the widths here for your output. So I've just kept this 2 for income level, name, and for region I've kept it 2.5. Next, for name, I created a rule here. For apply, I have set a formula where the income level is equal to low income, then the text color is equal to red. So this is our output. We see all the regions, the income levels, and the name of the country, and the ones which are in low income regions, which is Afghanistan. Here we have 3, okay, which is the sub-Saharan African regions. Okay, So I hope you liked the video. If so, please subscribe to the channel for more such videos. In upcoming videos, we'll be covering the JSON parsing along with some Python videos as well, always with Python. Thank you.